What's going on, everybody? Welcome into another Game Day update. I'm Kelcey, and joining me today is ESPN's Tim MacMahon. How's it going this morning?
Good to be here.
Good. I'm so happy to have you back because we have the Grizzlies taking on the Dallas Mavericks. And I think one of the most exciting things is that these two teams are matching up twice this week, and they are almost tied, like half a game behind for that fourth spot in the Western Conference. I would say going into a game like this, I'd be like, wow, usually we'd be like, hey, we got Luka versus Ja. We got the two unicorns going head to head. It looks like we may not have either of those matchups. So what do you think going into this game is going to be like the game changer?
Honestly, for the Mavericks, it's like which team is going to show up. When you talk about polar opposites, they set a franchise record for field goal percentage Wednesday night in New Orleans. Like the Pelicans come to Dallas and just roll all over the Mavericks, and it's frankly an embarrassing performance for the Mavericks. And then the Grizzlies just have to keep this momentum going, and obviously they need Ja Morant to be the best team that they can be. But what Memphis has been able to do since Ja went down is really impressive, and I think probably the most important thing in that stretch. And this is not cause and effect by any stretch, but you're seeing Jaren Jackson really start playing that unicorn type of basketball, start playing to his potential. And we've seen this before, but obviously last year was tough. I think this is the first time he's kind of caught an extended groove this year. And that really is a game changer for the Grizzlies.
Yeah, Jaren has been that key player. Obviously, it's taken a team effort because you don't fill a spot of Ja Morant with one player, but he has been the player to step up, especially in these last 3 games without Ja. And I'm going to look at this. Ja obviously is a big person in the Grizzlies who gets the points in the paint. That's why the Grizzlies are leading in points in the paint. But Jaren's been getting downhill now. Steven Adams has been getting a lot of second chance points. And I'm wondering, when you look at Dallas, who's sitting in 29th, so almost last in that category, how they combat that in today's game.
Yeah, and that's a great question. And I think you have to look at why have the Mavericks been so ineffective getting into the paint. I think some of that is they haven't shot the three well. Their spacing is off in part because of that. Frankly, Luka is still probably playing his way into shape. And so it's a combination of the driving lanes aren't as wide for him, and he's probably a little bit too wide. And that's a difficult combination, because when you're talking about point paints for the Mavericks, it is Luka's ability to get to the basket, and then his ability to have the floor space playing pick and roll and throw the lob to the rolling big man. Those two things haven't been there like you're accustomed to seeing for the Mavericks over the last couple of years.
And the other thing is, I was looking at the Mavs last couple of games, and it was the assist numbers that I was like, wait, what's going on? Because they have guys who can play. They have Hardaway Jr., they have Brunson, they have Luka. Porzingis played not last game, but he's been around this season. And it looks like the games where they're not sharing the ball, they're not winning. It seems like a simple recipe.
And it's interesting. The Pelicans last night, Garrett Temple after the game said one of the things they were really determined to do after being embarrassed a couple nights before was to make Luka a shoot first guy and kind of say, okay, hey, he had 14 assists in 27 minutes on Wednesday night. And they're basically like, we're not going to let him just carve us up, facilitating the ball. And so they made that a priority. I would think the Grizzlies would probably have a similar approach. And I also would think that the Grizzlies feel pretty good about as good as maybe anybody in the league, about their defensive matchup against Luka. Dillon Brooks is obviously a guy who takes a lot of pride in guarding the best offensive weapons in the league. If you go back and look at last season, he's right up there with the guys who gave Luka the biggest problems. I mean, everybody remembers, the falling, crazy 3-point runner. That's not a play you can guard, but, look at the numbers. Luka did not play efficient basketball against the Grizzlies last season. And a big reason for that is because Dillon Brooks is an absolute Canadian pain in the butt.
That was going to be my next question to you is that matchup one of the most exciting ones to look forward to? At least I know that we had it circled in the calendar, like Dillon versus Luka, because we do like a Dillon versus who on the other team. And Luka is one of those ones, because I think they do still have a sour taste in their mouth from that shot. He took that crazy shot to win the game on their home court. And I think they're still like, what the hell, Luka? Like, no, now we got to get it back.
Yeah, and I did the Canadian thing obviously just for you.
I appreciate that. Trust me.
To an audience of one here. But no, and look, I don't think it took that shot by Luka for Dylan Brooks to, when the schedule came out, to find this game. I think he's a guy. Late last year, there was it was a too late campaign for Dylan Brooks to get all defense consideration. I'm sure that was a major goal of his coming into the year. Obviously, missing time early doesn't help, but I mean, he's that caliber of player, and he's certainly the kind of guy who, when the schedule comes out, he's looking for the All NBA guys that he's going to be guarding, and he loves this kind of a challenge. Luka, frankly, stunk it up last night. I think we'll see how his legs feel, but certainly he's going to be motivated to kind of Lysol the stench of what the Mavericks left on the floor last night. And if you're talking about a matchup that I'm looking forward to, it's definitely Dylan Brooks defending Luka Doncic.
There we go. So it's one team coming in after kind of just honestly a disappointing loss. Another team coming in after a record-breaking win. We didn't even talk about that, but so we'll see kind of which team prevails. The game today tips off at 7:30, so it's a little bit of a later tip. Tim, thank you so much for your time this morning.
Yeah, I would take the under on 73 for this one.
That's probably a fair bet.
Appreciate you having me.